Live from New Delhi, you're watching DT India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. US President Donald Trump threatens sanctions on Russia, tariffs on China and the EU, also announces Stargate AI project. Panama's president defends sovereignty of Panama Canal after Trump's threat, says it is not a gift from the US. Prince Harry settles lawsuit with Robert Murdoch's UK tabloids after apology. US President Donald Trump has indicated he may impose fresh sanctions on Russia if President Vladimir Putin refuses to negotiate a deal to end the conflict in Ukraine. Trump made these remarks while talking to media at the White House. However, US President gave no details on possible additional sanctions. Trump also said his administration was looking at the issue of sending weapons to Ukraine, adding his view that the European Union should be doing more to support Ukraine. And US President Trump's decision to roll back birthright citizenship faces fierce opposition. 22 states filed lawsuits claiming it violates the 14th Amendment. Critics argue it denies over 150,000 children citizenship, limiting access to essential services. The legal battle now rests in the hands of US courts. Syed Absarul Hassan filed this report.
Relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States?
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
US President Donald Trump's decision to roll back birthright citizenship is facing strong opposition from Democrats and civil rights groups. Several Democratic-led states have filed lawsuits against the executive order. The lawsuits claim that the order violates the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizenship to anyone born on the US soil. California Attorney General Rob Bonta has voiced his disappointment over the move.
I am deeply disappointed that we're here one day into the new administration, and also not at all surprised. In the hours after President Trump was sworn into office, he issued an onslaught of disastrous and damaging executive orders, including one that seeks to end birthright citizenship.
22 Democratic-led states, along with District of Columbia and City of San Francisco, have filed 2 lawsuits in federal courts in Boston and Seattle. They argue that President Trump's actions violate the U.S. Constitution. The lawsuits target a key part of Trump's broad immigration crackdown. The new executive order states that children born in the U.S. will only receive citizenship if at least one parent is a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident or a green card holder. The policy, which will take effect 30 days after being issued, reinterprets the 14th Amendment clause subject to jurisdiction thereof, which has historically provided citizenship to nearly all individuals born on the U.S. soil. The Trump executive order specifically targets families where the mother is present in the U.S. on a temporary visa and the father is not a U.S. citizen or green card holder.
I think our country is built on immigrants, and the reason we have birthright citizenship is to encourage people to move here. And if we want to grow our country, that's the best way to do it.
I feel that people that are born here should be citizens.
What do you think about these efforts to change that law?
I think it would hurt so many people that I feel almost like it's un-American. I mean, we've been a country that has welcomed people, so I feel like if you're born here, I feel like you should be a citizen here.
Lawsuits filed in multiple U.S. states target a key element of President Trump's broad immigration crackdown. If Trump's executive order is upheld, for the first time it will deny citizenship to over 150,000 children born in the U.S. each year. Without citizenship, these individuals would lose access to federal programs like Medicaid, and as adults would be unable to work legally or vote. The battle has just begun. and the outcome now rests with district courts across America. It will be interesting to see what the courts decide. Syed Absarul Hassan's report for DD India.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday announced private sector investment of up to $500 billion to fund artificial intelligence infrastructure. The announcement on Trump's second day in office follows the rolling back of former President Joe Biden's executive order on AI that was intended to reduce the risks artificial intelligence poses to consumers, workers, and national security.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately.
AI requires enormous computing power, pushing demand for specialized data centers that enable tech companies to link thousands of chips together in clusters. OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle plan a Texas-based joint venture called Stargate and have committed $100 billion initially and then up to $500 billion to Stargate over the next 4 years.
The most important project of this era, and as Masa said, for AGI to get built here, to create hundreds of thousands of jobs, to create a new industry centered here.
This is not just for business. As Radi said, this will help people's life. This will help solving many, many issues, difficult things that otherwise we could not have solved with the power of AI.
AI holds incredible promise for all of us, for every American. We've actually been working with OpenAI for a while and with Masa for a while. The data centers are actually under construction.
Meanwhile, United States' longtime allies are reacting sharply over President Donald Trump's decisions affecting bilateral relations. From trade policies to territorial issues and immigration, leaders from various countries are expressing skepticism about the direction of Trump's administration that is going to take.
January 20th marked the day Donald Trump officially took office as the 47th President of the United States, but for many foreign leaders, the event was met with trepidation. Trump's announcement to impose China with a 10% punitive duty on its imports has also raised Beijing's eyebrows. In retaliation, China vowed to defend national interests and said that there are no winners in a trade war or a tariff war. On the other hand, Trump's administration might also hit the European Union with tariffs. Trump also signaled to hit Canada and Mexico with 25% punitive tariffs. While Canada pledged robust and rapid and measured pushback, Mexico urged calm in the face of Trump's trade threats that risk throwing their economies into disarray. The punitive tariffs against the United States as two major trading partners could come as early as February 1. Germany's conservative opposition leader Friedrich Merz, frontrunner in the polls to become the next chancellor, urged a united European stance in talks with President Trump. Whereas German Chancellor Olaf Scholz hoped for the United States to continue to be its closest ally outside Europe, Scholz also noted that Trump and his administration will keep the world on tenterhooks in the coming years.
The United States is our closest ally outside Europe. I will do everything I can to ensure that it stays that way. Our first discussion with President Trump and the contacts between our advisors point in this direction. Trump and his administration will keep the world on tenterhooks in the coming years in energy and climate policy, in trade policy, in foreign and security policy. But we can and will deal with all of this.
Trump 2.0 has begun with a bold start, but whether these orders mark a golden age for America remains to be seen. Bureau Report, DD India.
And on TikTok, Donald Trump said he was open to billionaire Elon Musk buying the social media app if the Tesla CEO wanted to do so.
Are you open to Elon buying TikTok?
I would be if he wanted to buy it, yeah.
On your inauguration.
I'd like Larry to buy it too. I have the right to make a deal. And I've met with owners of TikTok, the big owners. it's worthless if it doesn't get a permit.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar attended the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting in Washington, D.C., along with his counterparts from Australia, Japan, United States. Member nations underlined the priority that Quad has in the foreign policy and held discussions on wide-ranging dimensions, ensuring a free, open, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific. The meeting sends a clear message that in an uncertain and volatile world, Quad will continue to be a force for global good. That was the first Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, just next day after Donald Trump took over the presidency of the US. The next Quad Leader Summit will be held in India. And the joint statement by the Quad leaders stressed on their strong opposition to any unilateral actions that seek to change the status quo by force or coercion. Quad leaders agreed to reaffirm shared commitment to strengthening a free and open Indo-Pacific where the rule of law, democratic values, sovereignty and territorial integrity are upheld and defended. It also said Quad nations maintain the conviction that international law, economic opportunity, peace, stability and security in all domains, including maritime domain, underpin the development and prosperity of peoples of the Indo-Pacific. It said that Quad nations are committed to strengthening regional maritime, economic, technology security in the face of increasing threats, as well as promoting reliable and resilient supply chains. Russia's President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping discussed on Tuesday how to build ties with US President Donald Trump, prospects for a peace deal to end the conflict in Ukraine, and Moscow's firm support for Beijing's position on Taiwan. Xi and Putin, who spoke for an hour and 35 minutes by video call after Trump was sworn in as US President on Monday, proposed a further deepening of strategic partnership between their countries. As per Kremlin foreign policy aide Yuri Ushakov in Moscow, Xi and Putin have indicated a willingness to build relations with the United States on a mutually beneficial, mutually respectful basis if the Trump team really shows interest in this. Moving on, Prince Harry has secured a major win against Rupert Murdoch's UK newspaper group, News Group Newspapers or NGN, after they settled his lawsuit and admitted to illegal practices at the Sun tabloid. Harry had accused NGN of obtaining his private information between 1996 and 2011. Additionally, NGN acknowledged intruding into the private life of Harry's mother, Princess Diana. Prince Harry's lawyer, David Sherborne, said on Wednesday that the settlement of a lawsuit against Murdoch's News Group newspapers was a monumental victory that represented what he described as a vindication. At the World Economic Forum, Panama President Jose Raul Mulino on Wednesday responded to concern of US invading the region after President Trump said he would take back the Panama Canal. President Jose said the Panama Canal will remain Panamanian.
The Panama Canal belongs to Panama and will continue to belong to Panama. The Panama Canal was not a concession or a gift from the United States.
And still to come on this edition of DT India Live. Tragedy strikes in Jalgaon as panic over fire leads to fatal train accident. 8 lives have been claimed in India's Maharashtra. Bharat Mobility Expo 2025 dazzles with innovative autos from air taxis to electric bikes, shaping the future of travel. An EU foreign policy chief says Russia is posing an existential threat to Europe's security.
उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. A tragic train accident has occurred in Maharashtra's Jalgaon district, leading to the death of 8 passengers. The incident unfolded when rumours of a fire on board the Pushpak Express spread, causing panic among passengers. In their attempt to escape, several passengers pulled the emergency chain and disembarked from the train. Now, while crossing the tracks, these passengers were struck by the speeding Karnataka Express on a parallel track, leading to the fatalities. Local rail officials quickly responded to the incident, reaching the site to initiate rescue and relief efforts. And on the train accident, Chief Minister of the Indian state of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, has expressed grief over the loss of lives. In a post, he says, and I quote, "The incident of the deaths is very unfortunate incident near Pachora in Jalgaon district. It's very painful. I pay my heartfelt tributes to them. The entire district administration is working in coordination with the railway administration, and immediate arrangements are being made for the treatment of the injured. 8 ambulances have been dispatched. We are monitoring the entire situation. All necessary assistance is being provided immediately. I'm in touch with the district administration," unquote. And for the latest, I'm now joined by my colleague Shishir Sheral from Mumbai on a phone line. Shishir, what details can you share with us about the circumstances of this tragic train accident?
Well, absolutely. The incident happened today in the afternoon, and what we got to know is that a chain pulling accident actually occurred at the Pushpak Express, and we have seen that the train had stopped after which some passengers from the coach actually stepped out. Unfortunately, the Karnataka Express actually passing from the opposite track, the next track from this, and in this mishap probably 8. So far we've got the numbers that really 11 passengers have died. The member of parliament from the Jalgaon constituency, Smita Wagh, has just spoke to the media, and she said that 11 passengers have lost their life in this accident, and nearly 6 people are grievously injured. Now, all the people have been admitted, the injured people have been admitted to the nearby hospitals, and the local authority have been instructed by the state government to provide all the necessary help. Nearly 8 to 10 ambulances are rushed to the spot right now, and the operation is going on. Some of the people were actually on the track here, and that's the reason immediately the railway authority from the Bhusawal region of the Central Railway have reached the spot and are actually doing the rescue operation at the place right now. Well, the number so far that we received from the Member of Parliament is almost 11 people have been dead and 6 people grievously injured. The treatment is on right now, and the medical team has also reached on the spot to give immediate medical assistance to all the injured people. Yes, Shubhendu.
Shishir, thank you for joining us with those updates. And India's largest ever automotive expo had on display several innovative automobiles on display, from air taxis to electric bicycles, various concept cars capable of running on different kinds of fuels. The exposition captivated auto lovers from across the world.
Bharat Mobility Expo 2025 became one of the largest auto shows in the world, garnering around 900,000 visitors. The Auto Expo saw a range of creative and innovative automobiles put on display from around the world. From air taxis to electric bicycles, the show had it all. One of the key attractions at the expo was Shunya, an air taxi, a concept vertical takeoff and landing vehicle built indigenously by Sarla Aviation, which aims at revolutionizing the way people travel. According to the founders of Shunya, the vehicle is planned for production phase by 2028 and can provide air taxi experience at the cost of a regular taxi, and is completely electric and can be charged fully in 25 minutes.
What you see behind of me is a 6-seater with one pilot basically. It's a plane that vertically takes off and lands also basically. So it's completely electric. It's a 100% Indian company. What you see behind of me is a mass mobility what we are trying to create here, so that you guys are not stuck in the traffic basically.
Another creative attraction at the expo was TVS EB1, a hybrid bicycle that can extend the range of cyclists by providing an extra push through an installed motor that runs on a chargeable battery. The motor can also make it easier and more convenient for cyclists to go much longer distances.
TVS is premium offering for e-bike market in India. So these products are completely designed and developed in India for India. So what we are offering over here is completely integrated smart e-bike for India. The goal is here not to basically give a throttle to a person, but to enhance the cycling pleasure for the people so that they can go for a longer distance, go out for exploring and have fun while pedaling and have a sustainable and fit lifestyle.
From cars capable of running on hydrogen, ethanol and a blend of various sources of fuels, to cars made in India with solar panels installed on the roof to charge the batteries of the car. The Bharat Mobility Expo 2025 has created waves across the automobile world and has given a glimpse of what future traveling will look like. From air taxis to cars with mounted solar panels, from motorcycles to commercial vehicles, from trucks to buses, and from cars that run on hydrogen to vehicles that run on purely ethanol. The Bharat Mobility Exposition 2025 was one of the largest exposition of automotives ever to take place in the country, and this became a home to not just the present of automobile industry but also gave a glimpse of what the future of the automobile industry will be looking like, not just in India but across the world. With camera person Sunil Rana, Makshi Dongre, DD India.
The European Union top diplomat Kaja Kallas said on Wednesday the bloc must heed US President Donald Trump's demand to spend more on defense. She issued a stark warning over the threat from Russia. Meanwhile, Trump had earlier said that the NATO members should spend some 5% of the gross domestic product, GDP, on defense.
We all need to be realistic about Russia. Russia poses existential threat to our security today, tomorrow, and for as long as we underinvest in our defense.
The Union Territory of Ladakh is all set to host the first leg of 5th edition of Khelo India Winter Games, scheduled from January 23rd to 27th this year in Leh. This marks the second time since the Games' inception in 2020 that Ladakh will host the event. The second leg of the event will be held in Jammu and Kashmir in February.
The scenic region, known for its breathtaking landscapes and chilly winters, is ready to host a 5-day celebration of winter sports. This year's edition promises to be bigger and better, with ice hockey and speed skating competitions being the highlights.
I am very excited to be a part of Khelo India Winter Games 2025, as it is happening in our city only, in Leh. So I am so excited, and we have already prepared, and now we are looking for winning medals, and let's see how much it pays off our training and all.
428 athletes will compete in ice events, showcasing their skills and vying for glory against the backdrop of Ladakh's frozen beauty. In the Ladakh leg of the competition, two sports, ice hockey and speed skating, will be held at the ND Stadium, Gupuk Lake and Ladakh Scout Regimental Center Ring.
Alright, so I'm standing at the Gopuk Lake in Leh, where the Winter Games competition, Khelo India Winter Games competition will take place, and the best part about this lake is that this is the lake in summers, and it turns out to be the venue for the skating competition in winters. So you can see, so this is basically the natural ice, and this is the place where the large track competitions of Khelo India Winter Games 2025 will take place. So there are two competitions, short track competition in speed skating, and there's a large track competition also in speed skating. So here at this particular venue at the Gopuk Lake, large track competition will take place, and you can see the people are practicing also. The athletes who will be participating, they are practicing here, and we are moments away from Khelo India Winter Games 2025, and this is one of the venues where the competitions of Khelo India Winter Games 2025 will take place.
Local communities too are excited to be part of this grand sporting event, which not only promotes winter sports but also highlights Ladakh's unique cultural heritage and natural beauty.
Ice hockey has not remained just a sport in Ladakh. It has become the culture. We celebrate it as a tradition, as a culture. You see, that is why we bring them on the ice from very young age.
The event is also expected to provide a significant platform for young athletes to display their talents on a national stage, furthering the vision of making India a sporting powerhouse.
Khelo India Winter Games aims to encourage youth participation in sports, identify talent at the grassroots level and put India on the global map of winter sports. This is the second year running that UT Ladakh will host Khelo India Winter Games. With cameraman Shubham Sharma, this is Abhishek Mahajan in Leh for DD India.
What a splendid location for the games. Well, that's all in this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.